The Chengdu Hunters, the team that stole all of our hearts. Even though it was a rather average season record wise, the Chengdu Hunters gained a lot of popularity throughout the season as they were known for being one of the only teams who didn't conform to the GOATS meta. And so, even though that didn't really work out for them, as they had some really average first three stages, everyone's excited for them to come into this season now that 222 Rollock is a thing. Everybody loved their Hammond play from Among. So, let's get into whether or not they'll be good this season or not. Last season, stage 1, they went 3 and 4. Stage 2, guess what? They went 3 and 4. And then stage 3, they went 4 and 3? No, 3 and 4 again. Yep, that's right. And then stage 4, let's see, they went 4 and 3. So every single season they're either a game above or below that like 500 mark, but they weren't able to make the stage playoffs at all. So they were like very, very, very average throughout the whole season. As far as league positioning, that put them in 12th, and so they were just outside of the playoffs by 3 wins. So, or am I looking? Sorry, I'm looking at. Yeah, okay, no, that's right. Yeah, which is a shame because everybody loved them, and it would have been awesome to see if they could make a late push. But they would have needed a really great fourth stage, which they weren't able to put together. But they were so consistent throughout the season that I think they'll have a great chance this season. I don't think they'll be winners by any means, but I think they'll definitely be top of the table, top half of the table, like 10th and above. Because let's see what they were ninth last season, or that's in the stage 4. Yeah, so they were 12th last season at 13 and 5. I think they'll definitely be better this season because they kept almost the entire roster together, which is huge because they did play well last season. They never went worse than 3 and 4. Obviously, you don't want to go 3 and 4 every stage, but 3-4, 3-4, 3-4, and 4 and 3 aren't awful records. And especially in last season, most of those first 3 stages when they went 3 and 4 were all in the GOAT meta, and they were not playing GOATs at all. And so, like, if they're able to now in 222 Rollock, if they're able to play what they did last season consistently and improve upon it, I think they'll do really well. The problem is they don't have any superstars, and there's just a lot of like average on their team, isn't there? I don't think there's, and like Among, his tank pool is kind of limited once he goes outside of Hammond, and yeah, Hammond's great, man. If you can play him, that's awesome. I think they'll do really well. But at the moment, May's still really in the meta, and last season he struggled. Like, man, I felt every time I'd watch a Chengdu game, anytime there was a man on the field, he'd always be the first to die on like every team fight. And so I don't know if that's going to be great for them if May's in the meta. I think they'll struggle. But so it was like at the time of this recording, it hasn't even been a week since the Hunters actually made their first moves the offseason. I thought they were just going to like try to keep the roster or whatever, since they had an okay season last year, but they actually did end up picking up 4 players. Sorry, they did pick up one back in July. Leave, the DPS player. And so these guys, they're going with a primarily Chinese roster, which is obviously going to be huge for them at homestands and stuff because they're going to be like the only team everybody's going to be cheering there for. But with the primarily Chinese roster, they all stick together. They have like good team chemistry and stuff. And they picked up Leave, who was known for his World Cup play, which is really cool. He has had some decent success in the second tier scene since 2017, and I think this adds some good variety. He has a really good hero pool, and their DPS before were Bacon, Jack, and Jinmu, who weren't necessarily superstars. And so I think Leave here will be an upgrade, which is awesome. Obviously, 222 Rollock DPS will be a much bigger factor. And then, so that was back in July, and then they didn't make any moves until last week on the 14th of January. They picked up 18, who, honestly, I think they kind of needed because he can play Reinhardt and Winston, and that is exactly who Amon cannot play. So if May's still in the meta and you can't play a May, you're going to need somebody, and this is good because he's spent most of his time at Hong Kong Attitude since 2017, and they were able to do pretty well throughout his career there. Never a ton of success until Overwatch Contenders 2018 Season 3. And then 3rd and 4th in 2019 Season 2. So I think that's a big upgrade for them if if they cannot play Hammond. I think if they play Hammond, Among's still great, but I think they're going to struggle against Mei if they don't get someone else. So that's a big pickup. And then next they have Molly and Langsa, who both come from LGE Huya, one of the best Chinese contenders teams. They've won contenders several times over in China. And I think looking at those numbers, that's good that they've won those championships and everything over there. But when they've only played outside of China, I guess, in very limited roles. Let's see, like in October they played in Contenders Gauntlet, and they went 0-3 against Gladiators Legion. And so obviously Legion's just the academy team, and they struggled. And so I don't know if these two are both pickups. I don't know how much of this is just because they're like some of the best Chinese players available, or how good they actually are. I haven't been able to follow the second tier scene very much, but either way, I think it's good variety. Molly, support player, and Langsa is another support player. And like I was saying before, I think that they're really average everywhere. Like Kyo and Yveltal weren't really superstars by any means last season. And so even if Molly and Langsa don't provide much of an upgrade, I can't imagine they'd be much of a downgrade. So as they've improved throughout the season, those could definitely be some impact signings. Molly and Langsa, of course, playing on the same team, so there will be that existing chemistry, which I think will be huge coming into a team that already has lots of chemistry. They're all basically Chinese, and they've all played together for a while, so I think that'll be awesome. I'm excited for them. I think they can do really well this season. I'm gonna say they'll be better than they were last season. I think they can easily push for more than 12 or for more than 13 wins. I think it'll be tight for the playoffs. I don't know if that'll happen, because they need to get up to 16 wins compared to their 13. And I don't know if the moves they made are 3 wins worth of players, but they're definitely an upgrade. It'll be exciting to watch them because everybody loves them. And man, if they can play some Hammond, everyone's going to be loving to watch them again. Everybody, I've been Emrat. Thank you for watching.